Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you, giving you game 1 in a 2-game set between Yumiko and Sini. And when I say it's a 2-game set, I also mean it's a best of 3. Unfortunately, the middle game of the series I cannot cast. It is the non-standard Blizzard version of Echo Isle, and hence I will be skipping that and just casting games number 1 and games number 3. We see Yumiko spawning as the orange human on the top left-hand side of Twisted Meadows. Meanwhile, over here we see Sini spawning as the teal Night Elf. Night Elf versus human in what is going to be relatively close spawns, and what Yumiko is really going to benefit from is the fact that this Archmage, even though it was sped built, his opponent has not spawned clockwise of him. So because of that, he can actually do a lot more. As you now see a quick detonation there. Where exactly is this Archmage going? I expected the Archmage to be heading off over here to take out the Goblin Laboratory, instead going after the Null Wardens. So a little bit of an interesting call there, not using the footman out and about. No, that is just a peasant. So I'm not quite sure why we're not seeing the standard opening in the standard build. Alright, Archmage now out, Beastmaster is now out, and Beastmaster from the Night Elf as an early hero. Not quite sure how that's going to work out, as we see the Archmage does pick up that experience and also picks up the Claws of Attack +6, a very, very big damage bonus right now, about a 25% damage bonus on that Archmage, making that damage just grow pretty quickly. Alright, are we going to see a denial there? No, we do not. The Beastmaster ends up getting the kill and the experience, or maybe the Archer got the kill there, as the peasants are now simply walking back. Now, we still have an opportunity later to clear out this Goblin Laboratory creep camp. Meanwhile, the Beastmaster is chasing off to the north just a bit, as the Archmage now backs off, and he does have his Brilliance Aura. We're looking at interesting buildings here from the Ancient of War here and here as well, as that is going to be where the Beastmaster wants to go to next. He's trying to put pressure onto the Archmage and make it so that he cannot freely creep. He wants the illusion of constant pressure there so that he's always looking over his back. Now, what this is going to end up doing is that this Ancient of War, by the time it is ready, it will start tanking some damage down over here, but we may need to see a couple of Wisp being transferred over. If we don't see Wisp being transferred over, and that Ancient of War will most likely fall at the hands of this, or unless there is 2 Ancients of War divvying up the damage, that may actually work as well. Beastmaster going to get to level 2 off of this 533 creep camp if the unit gets there, or the damage is done in time. You can take a look at it. Ancient of War already taking that damage already. Meanwhile, this side training up more Huntresses. So dual Ancient of Wars, one for creeping, one for training units, as this Ancient of War will most likely just root itself once it is done, and then this guy will simply uproot as well. So a very, very nice, interesting tactic there. Yumiko, however, going for his standard money grab here, and the Archmage going to be dropping a Water Elemental and attempting to clear out this Ogre Magi creep camp and setting up an expansion. Now, this expansion is rather far away from his opponent, so it looks like Yumiko is going to be able to sit on 2 bases for quite some time. Now, Yumiko has been playing pretty inventively as of late, using Knights in the previous matchup against WFZ, and I'm wondering what Yumiko is going to do with his economic advantage. Is he just going to stick to the tried and true siege engines against Night Elf off of 2 bases with workshops, or is he going to try a different strategy that's a little bit more aggressive and more able at destroying the army instead of just the bases? Rock Golem going to get taken down here. Beastmaster is sitting at level 2, picking up a Potion of Greater Healing and Gauntlets of Ogre Strength. Expansion already coming into play here, as 1 guard tower and perhaps an arcane tower will be used. No, just 2 guard towers, in fact. Guard tower is slightly less range, but does more damage, except for the fact that it doesn't drain mana. Alright, Beastmaster sitting at level 2 here. You can see that the Ancient of War off over here is in fact rooted, as we are still at Tree of Life. We are not at Tree of Ages. This is a tier 1.5 army, which is rather strange, as I'm normally used to seeing a Priestess of the Moon, or a Potom. I haven't said the word Potom in quite some time. A Potom lead these Huntresses, since True Shot Aura is just so strong. Now, a Beastmaster is a rather good tanky hero that can get up into the front lines. And that's exactly what we're looking at. As the guard towers and scout towers are nearing completion, this expansion will be rather difficult to take out. We are still at tier 1. Economic advantage is pretty much nil. Or sorry, tech advantage pretty much nil. Tree of Life versus Town Hall. Economic advantage, Yumiko doubling up his opponent right now every second in terms of gold earned. Huntress is now doing a little bit of a dance, able to do a lot of damage to those footmen and now take down some of them, as we see a bit of a creep still here. 1 footman down, 2 footmen lost, as we're now looking where the orange army could possibly be. Yumiko has separated from the rest of his army to get to level 3. He could staff up teleportation back off to the north here, as we're looking at the guard towers attempting to fight back. Guard towers extremely effective against the huntresses, but the archmage now dropping water elementals is going to be even more effective. On top of that, we are now looking at ancient protectors, so we are now looking at a fortified position with more fortified units as well. Beastmaster now attempting to engage as the huntress not really taking nearly as much damage. You see that the claws of attack +6 and +9 were in fact sold, and with those items sold, the archmage's basic attack no longer is that big of a threat. Alright, let's take a look at this militia attempting to take down some of these units here. Beastmaster now already up to level 4, and we now have the Thunderhawk. Thunderhawk, perhaps the biggest bane and the highest threat target aside from these ancient protectors, as the Thunderhawk does deal magical damage. And magic damage at the 8-minute mark of the game, where everything on the human side pretty much has heavy armor, can be very, very devastating. You can see the Hawk is actually gonna perhaps do double the amount of damage here, as the Ancient Protector we see a cancellation right there, and then building up a new one, wanted full life, as this Ancient Protector most likely will uproot and then perhaps root right a little bit, one step closer to that Town Hall. Alright, water elementals, footmen, where is that other Hawk? I don't see the Hawk. There it is. There's the Hawk. The Hawk should really be engaging, and that's what we should be looking at there. Alright, you can see the damage from that Hawk, eating out about 40 damage per attack. 2 more shots and that footman will be down. 1 more shot and it looks like it will get taken down right there. Alright, Hawk needs to get away. Not quite sure if it was taken out by the guard tower there, but let's just assume experience was given, as the Archmage now gets to about 3.5. Ancient Protector, Huntress is now rushing through here. That one Huntress taking a lot of damage. Second Ancient Protector still not yet quite done. This Huntress needs to back off. No, not going to back off. Pretty much run straight in only to get destroyed, as we're now looking at the Town Halls being destroyed here. Alright, there, that little bit of extra magic damage from that Hawk deals so much damage. Just take down, attack that guard tower, and that guard tower is now gone. Alright, you can take a look at that guard tower. Just slowly getting destroyed there. Ancient Protector now fallen, but this expansion has pretty much been taken care of. The peasants are trying to repair the town hall, but that is all now a lost or a futile effort, as the Archmage gonna go ahead and lick his wounds and return back home. Alright, it looks like Sini is going to be clearing up Yumiko's expansion, which is something that is not easy to do. Expansions come from Yumiko more regularly than not. He likes to be up on 2 bases, and he likes to really play a little bit of a longer game and you make that economic advantage really work out for him. However, we're now looking at a Beastmaster who is now at level 5. This is going to be interesting. A level 5 Beastmaster currently already on the field, and if it does get to level 6, Thunder Lizards, oh, those are so strong if you know how to use them. If the Beastmaster stood here and then cast Thunder Lizard in this direction, the lizards would pretty much instantaneously appear on this side and then just explode and do damage to the buildings. That's exactly what we're trying to look for, as the Archmage now comes in attempting to take down a couple of Wisp, and does so with the help of a Water Elemental. Level 5 against level 3 though, as the Town Hall now gonna fall to sub 100 levels in just a second. Nope, mass number of footmen now making their way over, but this could all be a very big mistake. The Thunderhawk now there, gonna be getting in some extra free damage once again. Peasant is now trying to repair it, but all that repair is simply gonna be for naught. And it looks like the Town Hall does get taken down, and now Footman could end up falling, giving more experience to that Beastmaster. Beastmaster dancing very close to level 6, or that much closer to level 6, down to 1451, continuing the fight here as the Footmen need to retreat. Meanwhile, a lone water elemental trying to splash some damage onto the Ancient of Wonders, but really nothing, no serious damage being taken at all. All right, low hit point Footman down to 10 hit points is able to stay alive, as we're looking at dual Ancients of War, 41 over 50 compared to 41 over 50. All right, Huntresses attempting to now take down some of the production buildings of Yumiko. Yumiko is in serious trouble. He is going to end up losing this one particular barracks. And if he loses any more production units, I think that's the only production unit he has right now, he's not going to be in any good spot. The barracks is all that he's got, and now that he doesn't even have that, as we see one Ancient Protector just sitting there, making sure his opponent does not make its way over there. Archmage, Footman, all ready to go. All right, there you go. You can hear the guard towers attempting to take down the Huntresses and the Beastmaster. Beastmaster now losing a bit of his mana through feedback, and now still trying to fight through this front door area. Farms now getting taken down. We're going to be supply blocked in just, or we are going to be upside down on supply in just a little bit. 37 over 30. Meanwhile, Sini sitting on, I believe it was 30 over 30, or 50 over 50, a rather large army, and he is still not letting up. The Footmen trying desperately to fight back against those Huntresses. Those Huntress holding their own against those Footmen, as the defend does not work against the Huntress Glaive. It is not piercing damage. All right, we're still looking at a big fight here. Beastmaster of Sini continuing to just cause a lot of problems. Troll Shadow Priest should perhaps just abolish magic, that one particular water elemental, and let that Beastmaster get even more experience again. Beastmaster now trying to take down the Archmage. Arcane Tower is now draining mana from the Shadow Priest. Nicely done, as the Footmen are still all just sitting in the back, waiting and looking at their base being absolutely destroyed. All right, Scroll of Town Portal at the last possible second. Pretty much 20 seconds down. There you have it, a little bit more damaged out, as Yumiko gets a little bit of a breather, but not very much. Supply 39 over 50 compared to 35 over 42. It really felt like Sini could have overstayed that fight just a little bit longer. That Mountain King, if it had gotten a Stormbolt off, the Scroll of Town Portal would not have saved him, and then he would be pretty much up the game without a paddle, not able to get more experience or at least try and do something with that hero. Alright. Beastmaster now killing and taking down creeps just for the heck of it. Doesn't need it for any class work. Just wants to take down more and more buildings, as he is still wandering around, looking for pristine and easy targets that will give him the necessary experience for that higher level. All right. Troll Berserkers now on their way up to the north here. Quill Beast followed. Beastmaster right over here. We're going to have a little bit of an engagement, as the Goblin Shredder dancing back and forth between the Goblin Laboratory and the main base. Yumiko knows that he's in trouble here, needs to turn around and engage, but the Hawk is already there with a little bit of magic damage, starting to eat away at that Water Elemental. Water Elemental 1 already taken down. It looks like Water Elemental 2 could be taken down as well in just a second. How he wishes perhaps he was... No, is that a level 2 Hawk? I believe that's a level 2 Hawk. If it was a level 3 Hawk, I think it's a... And the animation is just slightly bigger, as we're looking at... the Quill Beast attempting to take down the Archmage here. All right. Hawks continuing to just rain down. I believe... Is it Lightning Breath? I don't even remember. And I don't see the Hawk anymore. All right, it may have disappeared. But there you have it. You can see the peasants are now all desperately trying to run back. It looks like, oh, there goes one kill. Are we going to see another 2 or 3? That's the big question. And no, we are not. No bounce onto the units there. But there goes a peasant who was just not paying attention. And the Beastmasters, who are just getting reflected back damage from those Quill Beasts. All right. There, it does get taken down. Arcane Vaults now up and under pressure. Let's take a look. Mountain King tries to pressure them away. Does have a potion of greater mana, or excuse me, a potion of mana and a scroll of regeneration. So that could be enough of a deterrent. As we're looking at all the units now, once again trying to just pressure out Yumiko in his own holding game. Yumiko using a lot of time just repairing his buildings, collecting lumber, and collecting gold in order to just keep up this base and what is pretty much left of it. Arcane Sanctum shows nothing being trained. As the Dryads now making their way back down over here, perhaps they'll regroup in base before doing one final push. Now, Yumiko is perhaps a bit scared to try and make a move outside his base. He knows that a lot of his army composition just is not going to hold up well, but the priest with dispel magic will definitely help. Dealing with summons, always a very big priority, as the Beastmaster is now at 6. I'm not quite sure how I missed that, but the Beastmaster is now at 6. And a level 6 Beastmaster against a level 4 Archmage, almost level 5, that could be a potential problem. Alright, Mountain King now making its way in. Archmage sitting at level 4, exchanging fireballs with an Ancient Protector. Water Elemental is now doing a little bit of extra splash damage as well.
A town is under siege.
As the Dryads and Huntresses make their way across. Alright. It looks like the Tree of Life over here on the top right hand side of the map will no longer be with us, as it gets taken down rather quickly, and Yumiko just happy to see it go, knowing that perhaps he has a chance of catching up on this game if his opponent goes into high upkeep before he should. Huntresses, Dryads now making their way up to the north. Beastmaster now bringing up the side here. Where are they going to spot? Quill Beast is going to spot the main orange army right here. There's a little bit of fireball. It looks like the Beastmaster is ready to just engage from the front, and that's exactly what we're going to be looking at here. The Quill Beast doing a little bit of superficial damage to that Mountain King, but at any given time, that small amount of damage could be the difference between victory and defeat. All right, let's go ahead and continue to fight here. The Hawk now backs off. Archmage is now getting up a whole new set of towers, but still does not have the gold necessary to build that new building. Beastmaster now ready to go. It looks like he quickly comes over, notices the guard towers, and decides to back off. However, Mountain King gets stabbed to preservation all the way back home, and he is able to ward off the attacker. Alright. Huntress is still down here, pretty much not doing anything. Ancient of War, or Beastmaster, now trying to just keep around here, and you can see that the Beastmaster is just casting Thunder Lizard back from the other direction. And that's why the Thunder Lizards are just attacking from this side. And this is perhaps a bit of a problem with this expansion, and with this one particular hero, is that he does so much damage to the wrong location that you're thinking of. There's the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.